Hey, what's good, guys? So, welcome to the Traders Reality new series to the channel. All right, we're going to be looking at projections. Every day, we're going to be bringing to you short videos on where price is likely to go based on understanding variable concepts that we apply every single day in the live. So we're going to be looking at all forms of cryptocurrency. I mean, I'm not going to dive too much into fundamentals. Frankly, it's all about price action for me, guys. And you know that when you hit the lives, all we do is just talk projections and we follow price. So let's go. Okay, guys, what is happening? So today has been quite interesting for the likes of Bitcoin. If you go back to last night's stream, we were speaking about the midweek reversal in line with the patterns, okay? Now, look, if you're new to this channel, you're probably going to think, what? All these lines on these charts. And if you haven't been to the lives, then, you know, you'll understand why we have so many lines going across our screens. They're all projection points, you know, because we usually start the lives when this is happening. And then as we wait for price to progress through, you know, we draw our lines and our levels just to know exactly where we are with price. So, considering this is the first video of the series, all right, we're just going to look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano, all right? Reason why I'm looking at those coins is because that's where the money's going. You know, I mean, we can look at lower priced coins where on, you know, smaller caps, but to be honest with you, we need to follow where the big money's going, because if the big money's moving into Bitcoin and Ethereum, naturally, okay, we're going to see that move happen across the smaller coins, but we need to pay attention to the bigger coins so we can gauge exactly where, you know, where price is likely to go. All right. So it's only gonna be short video. So here we go. Bitcoin. So if you looked at from last night, we were talking about the zones that, you know, Bitcoin has been taking out. Now, if we look back on the hour time frame, I mean, yeah, look at that. It is crazy, but there's a reason for it. So we started the week on Friday. So Friday, the market makers decided to form a pattern. All right. So there's two things the market makers can do on a Friday. Friday's really important to understand. Okay. Friday's either going to be a day where the market makers take profits or they set the range up for the following week. And that's exactly what they did down here. They formed a W formation on the hourly time frame. All right. Then we had this dead point right here where nothing really happens from Friday night going into Saturday. Then if you can see here, we've got these green lines going across the chart. That is the weekly range that is set before Monday. So they usually set this range from Saturday and then they take it all the way through to the following Saturday. This weekly range is very important. All right. This is where the market makers set their spreads and they build their positions, because market makers, they have weekly targets. All right. Now, I'm not going to dive too much into that idea, all right? If you want to learn more about that, come to the lives that we have every single night at 9:30 GMT in the evening, all right? So, looking at where Bitcoin is currently at from where it's been, okay? You've got the peak formation down here. You've got rise level 1, which is this blue zone here. We're expecting another move to the upside, rise level 2. So you can see here where Bitcoin started to consolidate in this zone here. Everyone was like chasing, thinking, oh, it's going to drop, it's going to rise, it's going to drop. You know, the market makers kept retail traders so inconsistent with their decisions. You know, they didn't know what to do, where to put their money. All right. That would be a level 2 for us. Okay. Because it clearly took out the previous zone. So there's a level 1 rise, level 1 rise, level 2 rise. We expected another rise to the upside because they move in 3-day cycles. That's how they work, the market makers. All right. They move in 3 ways. They move the first day of the peak, second day. Now we're on to the 3rd day move. All right. Now the 3rd day move tends to create the reversal, the midweek reversal. So they sort of manipulated the situation today. All right. So what I'm expecting from Bitcoin, okay, is a slight retrace. So we could be forming a M pattern right here. All right. We could be forming an M formation. Now, the only way we're going to know if this M formation plays out, all right, is if price stays within this zone. All right. She could actually continue to go up even further and take out price projection point of 57, maybe hit the range weekly high. All right. But if you go back in the previous live stream, this area here was projected. We had this area of projection and it came through beautifully, because if you notice on the hour time frame, we go all the way back. we anticipated that she would always come back to this zone because this is where market makers started accumulating longs at lower prices. Now that we're at this point here, okay, we've got price now has deviated away from the moving averages. We need to see a reset, okay? We sort of had a reset here, but this was a stop hunt low. You know, market makers came in and took out all the stops, tested the 50-day moving average, and then continuation to the upside. So you could see the pattern being played out from this low here, rise, or we'll take it from that rise here, and then we come back down, retrace, and then we go back up, continuation to the upside. All right, so there's the pattern right there, played out perfectly. Now, we're only going to know if this pattern plays out or if this trend to the upside plays out if it breaks the previous high. That's what's important for us. All right, right now there's no entry points because price is extended away from the move from the retrace down here. There would not be any entry points. What we're waiting for right now is a retrace back to the zone. They've always got to bring it back into the zone. Why? Because they need to induce more traders to put their money and get committed and, you know, start the opposite side of the trend, if you understand. You know, market makers, when prices are dropping, that's when they're buying. When price is rising, that's when they're selling. They're selling shorts, creating shorts at higher prices in anticipation to close them at a lower point later on in time. Okay? So that's where we are with Bitcoin. Only if this M formation plays out, what we're waiting for is a rise, a slight rise to not take out this zone, a retrace back down, and another attempt at the high, but not taking out the high. Okay, that is what will make this M pattern valid. All right, if it continues to go to the upside, then we're still waiting for the first leg to be established for the M pattern. Okay, that's Bitcoin for you on the hour time frame. Let's flip it over to Ethereum. Right, Ethereum, this is what we find with the lives. Okay, I've been finding that for the past 5 weeks, I've been focusing exclusively on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I'm noticing some form of fractional disparity between the two currencies, okay? Usually we see when Bitcoin moves, Ethereum will hold, all right? Then when Bitcoin holds, Ethereum will move. And then when Bitcoin moves, Ethereum will continue to move. This is what I'm seeing. And right now, you can see it's sort of happening now. Granted, they both retraced and pulled back away from the 200-day moving averages, okay? And now the 200-day moving average on the 15-minute time frame is the 50-day moving average on the hourly. So if you look at the hourly chart, okay? Oh, there you go. Happy Days projection point has been hit. Here we go. There you go. That's the 50-day moving average right there. Pin to the low, retrace, continuation to the upside, continue to take out the red candle, which is where market makers managed to build longs at lower prices and also close off longs from previous shorts that have been built on the way up. Okay, so where are we right now with Ethereum? Well, if we consider the pattern as a whole, okay, we've got W formation here, we've got rise level 1, we've got another rise level 2 up here. Now we could be in there's the head and shoulders right here. You could say this is a variation of a head and shoulders pattern. You've got this point here, one point there, you've got the head, and then you've got the shoulder. Now the shoulder, usually I'd say about 7 out of 10 times you're going to see a pin to the high, and then that's when it breaks down. All right, now notice when they pin the highs, they do not allow price to continue above the head of the formation. Why? Now people say it's because it's where there's supply and they're not interested in buying anymore. That's the biggest BS ever. Why? Because there will always be a supply and there will always be demand. Why? Because the market makers create it. All right? There can never be a supply or lack of demand in various zones. The reason being is because this is a liquid market. Forex itself is a $6.5 trillion daily turnover market. You're saying to me that there's a supply there. There's a supply at the highs and no one's interested in going higher. Of course they are. When you see price rising and rising, why are people so eager to get involved in the move? Yeah, you're thinking that all in retail investors are saying, oh yeah, it's reaching, it's quite an extended move. I'm not going to be buying anymore here. Get out of it, man. They're going to be putting all their money on there. That's why they call them moon boys, the ATH players, the all-time high players. Don't buy it, guys. The the market makers stop in this area because they need to get more money. They need to see a return on their money that they've been giving away on the move to the upside. All right. When you come to the lives, you'll understand it more. I go into it in so much more depth. And I'm going to be covering various topics about the market makers in future videos. All right. So looking at price projection for Ethereum, we've got one or two things that could be happening. If this pattern formation plays out, we should see a retrace back down to the 1710 mark. Maybe, maybe not. But because we've had this retrace to the 50-day, and it's been the first retrace since the 8th, all right, and it's continued back up again, we may see some more movement to the upside. I'm still expecting my projection of 1900 to play out, all right? That may be taken out tonight in Hong Kong, all right? So once that zone hits, we could see a retrace continuation back up again to the upside. They're saying that we're in the biggest bull market. Oh, happy days. Every day is a trading day for me, whether it's bullish or bearish. Don't even like to call it bulls and bears because that's just it's a metaphor to show you who's in control, and there's no such thing as bulls or bears in control. You know, the market maker is in control. He who makes the market is in control. He guides where price goes. You know, he's got a batch of orders coming in from retail traders from one end, and he's got a batch going in at the other. What he does is he fulfills those obligations by providing the liquidity to each of those retail traders. He's the market maker. It's in the title, market maker. You know, it's not market bull, market bear maker. No, it's a market maker. He decides which way we go, not the retailer. There will always be retail traders ready to pump money into the markets. The market maker needs to obtain that liquidity, put it in various parts of the market, and line his pockets by seeing a return on the spread and, of course, when price moves in his favor. All right? We talk more about this in the live, guys, anyway. Okay? So that's Ethereum for you right there. We are effectively waiting to see if this head and shoulders does play out. Be aware, though, it can go one or two ways. I mean, a head and shoulders is a variation of a M pattern. All right? You can see how it goes like this. All right? That's where we are right now. I would ideally need to see price break down, okay, in order for me to convict that this M pattern is going to play out. However, as long as price stays above the 50-day moving average, all right, it's happy days to the upside. That's all I'm interested in, all right? And we will have enough time to realize when price is breaking down, getting ready to test the 50-day moving average, all right? We will see what Hong Kong and Tokyo bring for us this evening. Okay, now the final one is Cardano. I'm going to bring ADA up for you guys. Now, ADA's a little bit of a tricky coin here, okay? You can see, where's she at right here? Okay, ADA has been playing a little bit of a tricky game with us, guys. Not so great. Right, you can see that ADA's not doing much. And she hasn't been doing much for a few weeks now. Well, a few days, should I say. But she's in line with this massive W formation. This little spike to the high was just a little bit of a manipulation to the upside. That's my projection for ADA at 150 on the basis that it breaks out of this W formation right here. All right. But if you look closely, you can see she's still riding and holding above this 50-day moving average on the hourly. And what do we know? Pin to the low, pin to the low, pin to the low. We've got 4 here, but usually 3 is the sweet spot. Okay. So we really need ADA to break above this zone here. Okay, for us to convict that she's probably going to be going to the 150 mark. Even if she does break out of that zone, we will see a break to the upside, retrace continuation before we actually hit the 50-day mark, sorry, the 150 mark. But she's been accumulating in this zone for a very long time. They are stacking orders in this zone, keeping retail traders on edge, not knowing where ADA's going to go. They induced so many contracts in this zone right here, guys. So many traders got caught on the wrong side of the trade here. You know, got all their stops taken out. They triggered the shorts and then they quickly rode it back down to get more longs at lower prices. And now we're potentially seeing the slow trend, true trend with ADA. Okay, cool. So that's your Just Projections first episode. Keeping it short and sweet for you guys. Make sure you reach out to the lives because whenever I release these small projection videos. We go to the lives and we see how they play out. Okay, so you could say that this is the before and the lives are going to be the after. So you can see the projections coming into fruition. And, you know, it just keeps you in check, because I can appreciate you guys can't really sit through 5-6 hours worth of stream time. All right. So if I give you these small videos just to give you a quick snap of where ADA is, where Ethereum is, and Bitcoin, you guys are then charged with the information that you need to make an informed decision on your own accord. Remember, this is not financial advice, guys. I'm not here to guide you into taking the trade altogether. You know, you come to the lives, you come to understand the concept so you can go forth and learn. You know, I'm not about feeding you. I'm about helping you feed yourself. You know, because ultimately I could stop doing the YouTube channel, and where you guys from that point, you won't know, you know, and I don't want that to happen. I want you guys to be proficient in this game. All right. Okay. So mad love to all of you guys. See you in the next video.